How's it going, everyone? So we're going to be talking about the Oscar nominations today. They came out this morning very early, and I did wake up to go see them. And these actually ended up being pretty solid nominations. I always kind of expect the worst when it comes to the Oscars, though I do think that they are getting better year after year. So without any further ado, let's just get into it. Best Picture. So we had All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, Banshees, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. There were a couple surprises here. I actually didn't think All Quiet or Triangle of Sadness were going to get in. I suspected Women Talking might. I'm kind of seeing misses with The Whale and Babylon. I expected both of those to get in, but I guess not. As for my prediction, I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once is the very clear film to predict, and I think that it's my favorite as well, so it would probably be my pick. I think that it was just such a fun movie, and I really loved it. Heading into Best Director, we have Martin McDonagh, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneider, Steven Spielberg, Todd Field, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. Ruben Östlund was a bit of a surprise, kind of expected James Cameron. I actually wish James Cameron had gotten in. I think that Avatar is just such a directing feat. I think that he very clearly should have gotten in. As for my personal pick, I thought that Steven Spielberg's job with The Fabelmans was done very well. I might give it to Todd Field, though. I think that Tar is just such an excellently executed movie. The Daniels were great, but I think that Everything Everywhere will get so many other awards that I would spread it out a little bit more, and Martin McDonagh did a really great job as well. So my prediction for this, I think it'll probably be the Daniels, maybe Martin McDonagh or Steven Spielberg. I think that this is kind of a tough category. I don't think Ruben Östlund is going to win, but I think that there's a big chance that it's kind of a three-headed race between Martin McDonagh, the Daniels, and Steven Spielberg, but my personal pick is Todd Field. Heading into Best Actor, Austin Butler, Colin Farrell, Brendan Fraser, Paul Mescal, and Bill Nighy. Paul Mescal was a really big surprise here. I really didn't think Aftersun was going to get anything. Paul Mescal is my personal pick. I think that he did an outstanding job in this. I haven't seen Elvis or The Whale yet, but I did really like Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, and I think that there's a chance he could win, but I really do think it is in between Elvis and The Whale here, and I think that Austin Butler is going to take it for Elvis. It almost seems kind of decided, in my opinion, though Brendan Fraser could come in and just absolutely steal it. Moving on to Best Lead Actress. This was one of the biggest category surprises. I did expect that Ana de Armas might get in, but I do think it is really crazy that she did. I recommend checking out my Blonde review. I will have that up in the little card at the top right. Andrea Riseborough was the biggest surprise here. She has campaigned herself clearly off of word of mouth, and that is just absolutely insane and pretty unprecedented. I'm very curious to see whether future actors and actresses will use this to try to get themselves in. However, I don't think that she's going to win. I think that this race here is in between Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett. Cate Blanchett, in my opinion, gave the best performance of 2022 in Tar, so that would be my personal pick, though I wouldn't be unhappy if Michelle Yeoh won because I thought she did an amazing job. Moving on, Best Supporting Actor, we have Brendan Gleeson, a surprise with Brian Tyree Henry, Judd Hirsch, who I think steals The Fabelmans completely in his one scene, Barry Keoghan in The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ke-Huy Quan in Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's obvious who's getting it. Ke-Huy Quan is clearly going to get it, and I think that he's probably my personal pick too. Moving on to Best Supporting Actress, Angela Bassett in the historic first Marvel acting nomination, Hong Chow in The Whale, Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin, and Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Stephanie Hsu is my favorite here. I think that she just did such an amazing job in that movie. She is one of the standouts in a movie full of standout things. She was just absolutely spectacular. I'm very excited to see what she continues to show up in. As for what I think is going to win, I think that Angela Bassett has a big chance. She's been getting in everywhere. If not her, maybe Jamie Lee Curtis. I wouldn't really be surprised, although I don't think that Jamie Lee Curtis is a very good nomination here. Best Score. This one had All Quiet on the Western Front, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere, The Fabelmans, and Babylon. As for what I think is going to win, I think that this one is a bit of a toss-up, but maybe Babylon. Everybody seems to very much love that score. For me, personally, I think that the Fabelmans score was one of the better parts of that movie. I did really like it, even though it's not one of John Williams' better scores. I think that he does a solid job here. Everything Everywhere All at Once didn't really have any notable score that I would point out, and I did like the Banshees of Inisherin score, but I don't know if I would call that the best. And then Best Cinematography just completely throws Top Gun Maverick aside, which was the original pick for what I thought was going to win. Now we have All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. I'm not really quite sure with this one. I think that Tar is probably my favorite cinematography of this. I think it has creative uses of cinematography that the others don't. Although I haven't seen Bardo or All Quiet, and I'm very curious to see how the cinematography is executed through those. I've heard that Bardo's cinematography is amazing, but it does seem to be that the prediction has to go to All Quiet on the Western Front, especially because it got nominated for so many things that I feel like it has to win one or two of them. I don't think it'll be completely shut out and not get any wins, so I think that it's going to take Best Cinematography. Next up, Best Original Screenplay. The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. For my personal pick, I really go back and forth between Banshees and Tar. I think that both of them have incredible screenplays, probably my two favorite of the year. I think that Everything Everywhere's is also really solid. The Fabelmans screenplay was fine. For what I think is going to win, I wouldn't be surprised if Everything Everywhere takes it, although I feel like Banshees could come in and swoop that out from under it. My personal pick, I'll go with Tar, and for my prediction, I will say Everything Everywhere All at Once. And finally, Best Adapted Screenplay. I was surprised to see Top Gun Maverick in here. I don't think that its screenplay was anything really of note compared to the rest of the movie. I thought the Glass Onion's screenplay was really solid. I feel like that was one of the things that made me enjoy the movie so much. So my personal pick would probably be Glass Onion. However, I am yet to see Women Talking, so I'm very curious to see whether that would take it, because I've heard that that screenplay is absolutely amazing. So those are my thoughts and picks and predictions of all of the categories that I really care about a whole lot. There's a lot of categories here. It would take absolutely forever for me to talk about all of them. However, if you want me to make a second part to this, comment down below and I will do it, and I'll talk about all the categories, and hopefully by then I will have seen a lot more of these movies. I'm planning on watching through as many of these nominated movies in all the categories as possible. I have seen quite a bit of them, however there are some notable glaring ones that I'm missing, so I do plan on getting to those. So what did you guys think about the Oscars? Were there any things that just completely surprised you? Were there things that you thought should have gotten in? Any notable snubs? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you guys.